You are far too kind. Well, hello there and welcome to another episode of Gardener's World, or whatever this is. I am your host, Monty Don, the big Mackie D. And in this episode, I'll be telling you which hardy shrub you must be cutting down. Now, we are in mid-November after all, in order to get the very best flowering displays come the spring. Now, I will need to have a quick chat with my horticultural researchers who tell me what I have to say. I mean, God, I don't know anything. And be honest with you, the BBC have paid me so much money over the years, I just don't care anymore. I'm going to just write a few notes for my new book. It's coming out soon. New book. So, Monty Don advises that you cut back hard one shrub this year in order to get some fantastic flowering in the following spring. And to a certain extent, he is correct. And we're talking about climbing roses. And that causes a problem because you don't want to mix up your climbing roses and your rambling roses. I'll tell you what the difference is, otherwise all sorts of problems can occur. A climbing rose is usually going to be a selective cultivar or hybrid of known parentage, which is tea-budded onto a vigorous rootstock in order to get massive arching stems coming off in the spring. And with those stems, you create a framework from which the flowers bloom. Just be aware that the flowers are produced on the new growth come the spring. So you make a frame and then you get new growth coming off it, and then you get the flowering buds. So I'm aware that the Royal Horticultural Society recommends that this job is done in November. But if you look at the old reference books that were used by the Victorians when gardening was at its peak, they recommend cutting back your framework in March. I've done my research. I found a couple of old reference books, and in both of those books, talking about March cutting back. Anyway, that's your climbers. Now, I want to talk to you about ramblers. So, rambling roses, these are roses that typically flower on growth off of the old season's wood. So there is a specific time when it comes to cutting rambling roses. They tend to flower really from early summer up until about the end of summer, depending on which cultivar you have purchased. And these are cut immediately after flowering. You cannot cut these in November, you cannot cut these in March, which is your traditional time. Now, I will give you a little quote from the old gardeners from the Victorian area. You cut your roses to the third outward facing bud in the third week of the third month. Now, that's pretty much for your hybrid teas and your floribunda roses, which are your shrubby roses. But the timing is used for pretty much all of your roses apart from shrub roses. So I don't know why the RHS has started talking about cutting your climbing roses in November. I don't know, but that's what they recommend. But this is quite a recent thing. So yes, you can cut back your climbing roses now. You are producing either a framework in which to cut your last year's wood too, so that new growth comes off that and flowers. Or if you're just sort of growing it upright, then you need to cut it slightly differently. You need to cut back sort of like side shoots all the way down the frame if you can, because typically you find these climbing roses and they flowering all at the top, and you've got very little flowering in the main body of the plant. Oh, hold on a minute. If you're finding this video useful or even just mildly amusing, then don't forget to click the thumbs up, press on that subscription, and if you want to be notified of whenever we release a new video, then click on that notification bell. It helps us more than you know, and it allows us to do stupid visits like this in the future. Anyway, let's continue to find out what old boiled butt has to say. Put my bloody glasses back on. Too hot, too sunny. It's too lovely. So, yes, according to the Royal Horticultural Society, you can cut your climbing roses back to its framework in November, although there's absolutely no problem at all waiting until March and pruning them. And the reason why you probably want to do that is because if you've allowed your rose hips to be produced on your climbing roses, you'll get that ornamental value from the coloured fruits, and also those fruits are available to be eaten by your local wildlife. Now, there is a slight issue when you say cut hard back, because usually when you're talking about cutting things hard back, that's normally to within about 6 or 9 inches to the ground, and that isn't standard practice for pruning climbing roses. I'm not saying you can't do it and getting a load of more growth coming out, but it really isn't done that way. Do you know what? I was just about to talk to you about making sure you're cleaning your secateurs blades or any of your cutting blades before you start pruning into your roses, so you're not transferring infected sap from your blades from one sick plant into another plant, because there's some nasty things about there. So always make sure these are sterilized. If you don't know what to use, then just pick yourself up some rubbing alcohol. You can pick that from any good DIY store. Just wipe the blades, and then when you finish wiping the blades with that, wash it off with some water. But November, it's the autumn with a lot of rain. You've got all your infected leaves, because you and I both know that roses are really prone to a selection of fungal infections like mildew, like black spot, like rust diseases, and all these leaves would have dropped to the floor at this time of year. And guess what? You'd be cutting into your plants, creating these fresh open wounds, and these make ideal infection points for these fungal spores, because you have all these dried leaves on the floor, you get a bit of rain, it bounces all the spores about, and what a surprise, you got infected plants again in spring. So I don't know, I'm not a big fan of this November cut. I don't agree by calling it a hard cut back, because it really isn't that. So I'm gonna stick to my guns and continue to recommend cutting your climbing roses in March with the rest of them. Now, you don't have to agree with that. You might have other ideas, and you're more than welcome to put those in the comments section. We would love to hear from you. Anyway, thanks for watching. I think that's really all I need to mention about cutting climbing roses in November. Anyway, see you in the next video. Goodbye. No. Nobody leaves until I say so. They are here to watch me. I, Monty Don, are the important one here. So I have some more good advice for you at this time of year, and it is still regarding pruning your roses, but really you can use this advice for any of your plants at any time of year. It is to do with the 3 Ds. The first is, when you're pruning or just keeping your eye out on your plant, is to remove any dead wood in your plants. The second piece of advice regarding the Ds is to remove any diseased wood that you see on your plants. And the third D is to remove any dying wood you see on your plants. And that is that. But there's another one, begins with a C. Yes, I remember now. That was just me talking to myself. The fourth one, damn it, is to remove any crossing branches where the branches can rub open wounds and create an infection point which can be attacked by airborne fungal infections. There you go. That really is the end of it. It's goodbye from me, Monty Don, and I will probably not see you in this tin pot outfit ever again. Goodbye. Right, now, just before you go, if you want to see more content, more behind the scenes stuff, and images that I've taken of some weird freaky plants over the years, then you're in luck, because we've created an Instagram page. So you can find the link in our description, you can find the link on our main page, and if I'm clever enough, I might be able to get a link somewhere up there. Anyway, thank you for watching, and if you want to see more YouTube stuff, then check out this video here. That's quite a good one. And if it doesn't float your boat, then another one right there. And enjoy these while I've still got the strength, imagination and aptitude to make them. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.